Hello, friends. How are you doing today? I hope you're having a great day. So, one of the things that I get asked most often about is a flavor of is real estate investing risky or how do I avoid mistakes? Something around those lines. So, I thought I would do a kind of a top 10 things you could do to kind of avoid mistakes. I've covered each of these probably in various forms, but I don't think I've ever put them together in one video. So I thought I would take a shot and just put it out there because it's often it's often a topic of discussion because people talk to people and we always hear the bad stories, we don't hear the good ones. So I thought I would take a chance and just sort of share a top 10 list I have. Love to hear from you. If you have some that I have missed, please add them to comments. I'd love to hear what you think they are. But again, I got to do a better job of asking for subscribers. So do me a favor, hit subscribe, share the channel, ask your friends to join. Let's see if we can't continue our climb to 2,000 subscribers. That would be great. Hit that like button. I understand it helps the algorithm. Not really sure what the algorithm is, but that's what I'm told. And as always, go ahead and leave a comment. I've already asked for a comment if I've missed one of the top 10 that you think is important. If you like the video, leave a comment. And also, don't never forget we have the subscriber questions, which are always fun as I like to interact with my subscribers. And again, I do this for you, not for me. So if you have questions, please leave them in the comments. So here's 10 mistakes that I collected. Thought about this for a little while, kind of created a list, threw it away, created another list, threw it away, and this is kind of what I ended up with. And love to hear what you think. I tried to address all of these in that rather inexpensive course I put together because I gotta have a goal when I'm building something. So I wanted to make sure I covered these. But let me know what you think. First and foremost, not doing your homework. This is kind of step one for me, but I have seen over time people get the bug for real estate investing. Real estate investing gets hot again. Apartments, houses, condos, multifamilies, fourplexes, whatever. And they go to a real estate event. They go, their next door neighbor's post office dog walker says, I made $1 million in real estate. Whatever reason, they go out and buy something. And they do that without doing their homework. Now, real estate's pretty forgiving. If you hold that for 20 or 30 years, it probably works out. But it's not the most efficient, the least risky way to do it, and that's pretty sad. So I made it a point in my course to get out of fluff and make step one all about your homework. Exactly. How did I learn a market I never was in? How did I learn a property type and really start building the foundation which my 15-year journey was on? So homework is vital. It's something that I've been talking about, since I created this channel and made it step one of the program. And frankly, something you could do pretty easily. Lack of focus. This is another one that I probably hit a couple of times in this list. But basically, you don't know what you're looking for, right? Are you going to be a single family house person? Are you going to be an apartment? Do you want land? I don't know. Do you want to do lease options? Do you want to do owner carryback, right? Do you want to flip? There's so many options in this business that if you don't have focus, you will, become, decent in lots of areas, but an expert in none. And if you're going to be a full-time employee and be great at your job and have a family and all of that growing responsibilities, you need to cut that out, right? You need to get on lock. You need to get focused. So if I think about the first step of my program, it is all about homework, but really what it does is it's about creating focus. And then with that focus, you execute the homework. And that's kind of the net of step one. And we go through it in detail, obviously. The other one is chase too many shiny objects, kind of a different flavor of lack of focus. I have heard people go, hey, I'm going to be a flipper. And then 60 days later, they're going to be a wholesaler. And then 60 days later, they're going to be a note buyer, a discount note buyer. And then they're going to do lease options. And then they're going to do probate. And they go nowhere, right? They spend all the time, they buy the courses, they put them on the shelf, and they don't do anything, which is a shame. I don't want that. If you're not quite sure what you want to do, if you're not sure you want to be a long-term buy and hold person, just keep watching my channel. It's free. It doesn't cost you anything. Frankly, I have a free course on Teachable you can watch. I think it's 90 minutes, maybe 2 hours. Gives you some stuff. But if you're not sure what you want to do, stay with free. If you want to be a buy and hold, long-term conservative investor, frankly, you'd be silly not to buy the program. It's $99. It's going to save you a lot of money on your purchase, which will be thousands or tens of thousands of dollars if you make a mistake. It'll be less than cash flow in 1 month of one rental. I priced it at that point on purpose. So again, if you're not sure what you want to do, keep going to YouTube University and figure it out. But once you figure it out, go that direction. And if it happens to be buy and hold landlord, hopefully I'm your guy. And that rather inexpensive course is kind of step one for you. The other one is you're in a rush or a hurry. I'm brought back to a conversation I talk about in our book, One Rental at a Time, available on Amazon, where I met with a good friend. And they had just had some liquidity, right? I think their company got bought, but it could be today with all these IPOs we have coming up. There's going to be a lot of people with hundreds of thousands of dollars in cash and maybe even millions of dollars if they're an early employee. And some of them, I promise you, will be in a hurry. They will act like this money is literally burning a hole in their pocket. They will look to deploy it, get it out of their hands as fast as possible. And that often leads to mistakes. So as you see in my course, I talk about doing your homework for 30 days, right? A couple times a week, 30 days, maybe 30 minutes a day. And you're going to be in such a better position. And that's not in a hurry, right? That's learning your market. That's learning a very focused area on buy and hold. So again, don't be in a hurry. Another one, again, this is, kind of step 2 of my program, is you got to be able to compare deals, right? How can you compare a house with a fourplex? Well, the answer is it's pretty easy, but you have to know how. And the answer is not some sophisticated Excel spreadsheet. Frankly, the more sophisticated this Excel spreadsheet is, the more I think it's hiding from you. So let's not be fooled by complexity and think complexity is the answer. As I show in my program, my spreadsheet is simple. I had very sophisticated spreadsheets years ago, but I have found over time it is most simple and easy to have one that's straightforward and allows me to compare any investment. I can compare a condo with a house with a duplex with a quad with an apartment, and all the way around. So I can take that condo and compare it to apartment. It's that simple and that straightforward, and frankly, very, very important. If you can't do that, I suggest buying the course. Another one is comparing out-of-state deals with in-state prices. This is way expensive, and I think some out-of-state turnkey providers are looking to take advantage of you. Right? I happen to live in a very expensive part of the US, and when I go around and look at these 1950s ranches, they're 7 figures. If I take that brain set or that experience out to the Midwest, and I see an old colonial or a Victorian house that's bigger than these 1-story flat ranches, and it's 100 grand instead of 7 figures, my mind goes, oh my God, I'll take 2. Well, maybe, but my guess is that's the wrong answer. Because if you did spend the time doing your homework and comparing deals and learning your market, you would realize that $100,000 house in the Midwest should actually be 75 or 65. I've heard some pretty horrible stories of being people in California and other expensive parts of the US being taken advantage of. And frankly, I mean, as harsh it is to say, if you don't do your homework, that's on you. If you get taken advantage of because you're willing to write a check without knowing what the market is, that's on you. Stop that. Spend the lousy $99 on this course and figure out what the homework is that I think you should do. It's what I did in a market that I knew no one had, no system, had no access. I learned that market over time, and you can too. Team member selection. Right, if you're going to be buy and hold investor and follow me and follow this program or follow this channel, you realize that you can't do everything yourself, right? You've already got a 60-hour-a-week job. You already got all these great family commitments and games and piano lessons and second languages and all that stuff. So you have to be able to select team members, and you have to know which ones are tier 1 and which ones are tier 2. Again, we talk about this in the course. It's step 4 of the program, right? Understanding who's there and who needs to be there first, and which ones can you add and keep adding and keep growing your network. Along those lines, you have to realize it's not only team member selection, but it's team member management. This is really what's hard for people, right? You need to realize that at some point you may need to fire someone or replace someone, or maybe you've gotten too big, or maybe they're too big for you, or maybe they're lying, or they're not, their service level has fallen off a cliff. It's your job to manage that, right? As much as I wish all of you to have great relationships and no one ever to do anything bad to you, that's not reality. And you should be ready to make those decisions. So again, we talk about that in step 4 of the program, how to select, manage, how to interview, and frankly, how to set expectations and manage them. It's on you to make sure that you do those things. Self-assessment, I think when you get into this business, it's great to say, hey, I'm going to be a long-term buy and hold. I'm going to think in decades. I'm going to conservatively finance, always get fixed rate debt. That's awesome. But you also should do some self-assessment, right? What are you uniquely good at? What do you need help with? What is your significant other good at? What do they need help with? And then just hire around it, right? I would tell you that your job should probably be to secure capital, and maybe to, at least, if not find deals, maybe it's to evaluate deals that are brought to you, right? There are some things you shouldn't outsource, but then there's the rest you can, right? So for me, it's always been securing capital and finding deals. Right? Those are the kind of things that I didn't feel comfortable giving off to someone else. Maybe yours is the same, maybe yours is different, but at least do the self-assessment. And again, that's step 5 of the program, kind of figure out who you are and what you need to round out. And then the last one, again, covered in step 5, is what's your long-term and short-term goals, and are they aligned? Right, if your long-term goal is financial freedom, but your short-term goal is I need 20 grand tomorrow, it's kind of not aligned, right? Chunk money is very different than passive cash flow. So again, just make sure that they are aligned. Make sure and make sure you also celebrate some successes. Something I talk about in our book, One Rental at a Time, is I failed to take those little respites on this 15-year journey, and it almost killed me because it can get stressful. Real estate investing does test you, and I should have done a better job of that. So hopefully you do as well. So in the end, I hope you enjoyed that. If you haven't purchased our book already, you should really go out and get it. It's been ravely reviewed on Amazon. It's called One Rental at a Time. That's what the cover looks like. Last time I checked, it had over 50 5-star reviews, which mean the world to me. If you get the book, please leave one. I'm a self-published author, and the reviews are what helps with the rankings. But as always, if you're still watching, please subscribe, hit that like button, and as always, leave a comment. Let me know if I missed something, and feel free to leave a subscriber question. Have a great day.